The mother put her paralyzed son in front of a store. Then he left without looking back. At this time, a male waiter walked out of the store, saying that he was a little flower. While kicking him, he asked him to quickly roll the small block. I had to support my disabled body with my hands and move down from the entity little by little. Subsequently, the waiter threw a bottle of drink and candied horse in front of the party student. The party student didn't think much about it, picked up the candied horse and licked them curiously. He found it sweet, so he ate it excitedly. But in this scene, the shopkeeper's son happened to see that the candied horse were mine.
It is not your other person's home.
The boy I picked up snatched the candied horse and shouted arrogantly, "This candied horse is my drink, and it is also mine. I just feed the dog, and I won't let you, the little flower, eat." The party student's small self-esteem was stinged. He stubbornly fought back. Seeing a crippled fat boy who dared to talk back, he directly poured the remaining drink in his hand on the party student's face. Not to be outdone, pick up the candied horse on the ground covered in dirt. It fell on the boy's face. The waiter heard the noise and ran out. Seeing that the young monster was bullied by a little beggar to a man, he kicked him directly. He kicked the small party voice to the ground and was unrelieved, and then kicked the small party voice and hit his feet continuously. The people around me couldn't stand it anymore. They all stepped forward to stop it. At this critical moment, my mother finally rushed back. She pushed aside the crowd and saw lying on the ground, covered in mud and drinks on her face, the trembling party body. The mother's heart was torn apart in an instant, looking at all the grievances and humiliations in the mother party's body and mind. At this moment, I couldn't hold back any longer.
I don't dare to leave you here alone to watch my crying son.
Who doesn't hurt the heart of a mother? He didn't blame anyone who picked up the sound and was about to leave the noise. Alarmed the owner of the restaurant. When the boss saw the woman's dissatisfied face, what did he think of? Hurry back, take out all the cash in the store. Then it was filled with a bag full of food and drinks. When he hurriedly chased out, he found that the mother and son had long been gone. It turned out that he recognized the party body. It was the biological son who was abandoned 5 years ago. When he chased after him to the train station, the mother and son have already embarked on the train to Beijing for treatment. This is a film based on real events. The realistic tear-jerking masterpiece, Orphan's Tears, is enough to go down in the history of Chinese cinema. This work has no gorgeous special effects, let alone big-name traffic stars. She was like a sharp surgery, a knife, ruthlessly dissecting the selfishness of seeking benefits and avoiding harm in human nature. And like the warmest light, it illuminates the most forbearance and greatest compassion in the bones of traditional Chinese women. It also tells the poorest rural Chinese families in the 70s of the last century to deeply explore the grace of birth and nurturing. This is a difficult problem for the ages. A cold winter in the 70s of the last century, in a dilapidated welfare home, a strange baby boy was born. He suffers from severe congenital foot fracture. That is, this child named Dang Shang, the feet are extremely twisted inward as soon as they are born. He was destined to be a cripple who could not walk. In that era, when there was not enough to eat, give birth to a disabled child. For a family, it is undoubtedly a disaster. The father looked at the disabled baby in the wall. There was no pity in his eyes, only disgust and fear. After painful calculations, he made a cruel decision to take the child away, ready to throw him into the sea and fend for himself. Fortunately, a woman passing by saw the child crying endlessly. She guessed that the child was hungry, so he picked up the child, breastfeed her in time. At this moment, the doctor of the welfare home chased after him. Tell the woman, this child is called Dang Shang, except for his slightly disabled feet. All other indicators are normal. If you don't dislike it,
Just take him home to raise. What are you afraid of? Lulun has a nose and eyes.
The biological father saw the woman in front of him and felt so sorry for the child. Relieved, like throwing off a huge burden, he left without looking back. That is all. The gears of fate began to turn. Party students followed suit. Mom returned to her poor rural hometown. See this, I can't help but think. In that era, when even their own children might not be able to support them, the moment Zhang's mother picked up the party student, it is a kind of cruel law of survival at the bottom. The tragic rebellion of the biological father's abandonment is a reality, and Zhou Ma's acceptance is a divine director with extremely strong contrasts. At the beginning, an eternal theme was established. Blood is just a physiological coincidence, and love is the only criterion of family affection. 5 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Under the closeness of Zheng's mother and Zheng's father, all the small parties have grown up. Although his feet still couldn't walk, Zheng's mother's family regarded him as their own, even more than his own eldest son. On this day, there was a very warm and poignant scene in the yard. The director's biological brother, he supported his younger brother with his thin shoulders and taught him to walk, step by step. Jima was doing farm work next to her while laughing and joking.
So where is walking? Your brother is using you as a crutch. Mom, I've grown up.
Also use you as a crutch.
Looking at the director's party student, Emma's heart felt sour. Such a smart and good baby director. Why is he a disabled person? But the reality is cruel. Money for children's feet. For this poor family, it is simply astronomical. But the simple terrier gritted his teeth and made up his mind. Even if you smash the pot and sell iron, it is also necessary to cure the disease of party students. When I was adopted, he is responsible for him. Let's save one person, save a bite of rice, and save an egg a day. You can always have a few dollars in a year. On this day, Zhang's mother wanted to buy a piece of ointment for the party students to eat, but just when she was about to pay, beside her, an old beggar stopped her and saw that the old man's feet were also sufficient. The already kind-hearted Zhang Ma still relented. So he gave the money to buy the ointment to the old man. Everyone pay attention to the image of begging for the old man, arranged by the director here. This old man is actually a party student. If you don't treat the most real horror mirror image in the future, Zhang's mother looks at the old man. In fact, it is looking at the future of party students. The psychological impact of this scene on Zhang's mother was devastating. It was at this moment that Zhang's mother was even more determined to cure the feet of the party students. For the party students who can't repeat the tragic fate of this old man begging, this is the awakening of a mother.